In the 1970s, America was gripped by fear as young women began disappearing near college campuses. The man responsible did not look like a monster. He looked intelligent, polite, and handsome. His name was Ted Bundy. Born in 1946, Ted Bundy grew up appearing normal. He was smart, well-spoken, and studied law. Friends described him as charming and confident. No one imagined he would become one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. In 1974, young women in Washington state began vanishing. Many were last seen near universities. Witnesses described a friendly man asking for help. Sometimes he pretended to have a broken arm. Other times, he claimed to be a police officer. He used manipulation, not force, to gain trust. Once victims approached him, he attacked. The pattern spread across multiple states including Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and Florida. Authorities struggled to connect the crimes at first because communication between states was limited at the time. Bundy was methodical. He targeted young women with similar appearances, long dark hair parted in the middle. He abducted them in broad daylight. This terrified communities because it meant the killer was bold and confident. In 1975, police finally arrested Bundy in Utah after a traffic stop. Inside his car, they found suspicious items including handcuffs and burglary tools. He was convicted of kidnapping and sent to prison. But prison did not stop him. In 1977, Bundy escaped from jail in Colorado. He was caught, then escaped again weeks later by crawling through a small hole he had carved into the ceiling of his cell. He fled to Florida. In January 1978, in Tallahassee, Florida, Bundy committed one of his most brutal attacks at a sorority house near Florida State University. He broke in during the night and attacked multiple young women. 2 of them died from severe injuries. The violence shocked the nation. Soon after, he abducted and murdered a 12-year-old girl named Kimberly 00. Leach. This crime intensified the manhunt. Finally, police captured him again in Florida after another traffic stop. What made Bundy even more disturbing was his behavior during trial. He acted as his own attorney. He cross-examined witnesses. He smiled at cameras. Some women in the courtroom admired him despite knowing what he had done. The media covered the trial heavily, turning it into a national spectacle. In 1979, Bundy was convicted of murder and sentenced to death. 4 years, he sat on death row in Florida. During that time, he gave interviews and eventually confessed to killing more than 30 women, though investigators believe the real number may be higher. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair. Outside the prison, crowds gathered cheering, holding signs, and celebrating the end of a nightmare that had haunted America for over a decade. The Ted Bundy case changed how law enforcement tracked serial killers. It also changed public perception forever. He proved that evil does not always look frightening. Sometimes it looks charming, intelligent, and ordinary. His crimes remain a chilling reminder that